So our next speaker is Roberta Perry. Roberta is the president of Roberta Perry and Associates. The entertainment industry knows her as a business development catalyst. Why? Well, because she makes things happen in the global location-based entertainment, theme park, museum attractions, hospitality, and developers marketplace. She seeks out strategic global opportunities for her clients, whether with owners, operators, or synergistic industry suppliers. She is also the co-founder of Invitation to Tomorrow Today, a monthly showcase where the team present guest speakers with market-ready products and services for today's challenges. Plus, she is the co-founder and executive producer of Zeitgeist Design and Production, Spirit of the Time Zoomcast, featuring the theme park legends of Disney, Universal Studios, and Meow Wolf. Roberta is the past international president of the Nightclub and Bar Association and the past international president of the Themed Entertainment Association. In October of 2020, the Themed Entertainment Association honored her with the Master of Their Craft Award for Business Development and Public Relations. She is also a past international director for Toastmasters International. She is an Amazon bestselling author and 2 compilation books by Natasha Deswalt, Women Who Rock Volumes 1 and 2, and in Craig Deswalt's books, 100 Ways to Rock Your Life and Rock Your Life. Please welcome with her presentation, From Bars to Boardrooms, Roberta Perry.
Thank you so much, Aggie. I appreciate that introduction. Thank you, Booker, for having this opportunity for so many amazing women that I've been listening to all morning with their incredible and inspiring stories. It's so appreciated. In 1974, which now seems like 100 years ago in a galaxy far, far away, I took my first step in business. I took that step by being interviewed by the office manager for Stuart Anderson's restaurants in Seattle, Washington, Helen. And after the interview, Helen called the entertainment director and she said, and I will never forget this, she can't type, she can't take shorthand, but she can keep your entertainment department organized. Whoa, Helen was right on all 3 accounts. I couldn't type, I couldn't take shorthand, but I thought and I could organize his department. Thus, I began my career in business, from bars to boardroom. That career started as a secretary to the entertainment director. Wow, what an adventure that became. Now, I have a master's degree that I had received in 1974 in public address and rhetoric from Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. I thought I was going to be a teacher for the rest of my life, but things happen as they do in life. So I moved back to my hometown of Seattle, Washington, found myself working, which I love, by the way, as a waitress at a restaurant in downtown Seattle. The executive chef one day tracked me down and gave me a want ad as for this secretarial position for Stuart Anderson's restaurants. Now, I don't know about you, but oftentimes voices kind of appear in my head that said, are you kidding me? You can't do that. You've never been a secretary. You don't know how to type. You don't know how to take shorthand. Whew. So I almost threw that ad away. But instead, because I knew he was going to track me down and keep nudging me forward on that, I went ahead and I applied. And now at that point in my life, I had become a secretary, not knowing what I was going to do, but always knowing that I can learn on the job. Because as Cass mentioned, we do have to believe in ourselves. 3 days after joining Stuart Anderson's, Stuart called me into his office to welcome me to the company. We chatted about challenges women face in business, especially in the restaurant business. And after he indicated that it was going to be an incredible journey for me, I took his words to heart because the next words out of his mouth were, Roberta, if you want to succeed in this business, you're going to need to learn how to communicate and work with men. So I highly recommend that you go down the street and you join a Toastmasters club. Now, for those of you who don't know Toastmasters, well, you can Google Toastmasters International because we're in 143 countries. And wow, the organization has grown. But don't Google Toastmasters until at the end of the day, after all of the breakout sessions. Well, literally, I walked down that street, I joined a Toastmasters club, and there I was, 27 men and me. Whoa. And then I remembered the words Stuart said to me as he was telling me to go join a Toastmasters club. He said, Roberta, just say yes to everything that they ask you to do. And I thought, okay, here I am. Now I'm in front of 27 men. And I'm just saying yes to every communication, every leadership role that they asked me to do. Those gentlemen all became my friends, my mentors. And yes, I did just say yes to every time they asked me to speak or to take on a leadership role. I owe them my career in business. And also, I owe them another huge round of thanks because I learned at that moment in time by being a member of that club and the many clubs I've been a member of over the years, the importance of having a mentor, the importance of being a mentor, especially at this time in my life, being a mentor and continuing to have mentors is a life lesson. Now, from secretary, I was promoted to the assistant entertainment director. In 1980, my boss resigned to take on a different challenge. I wanted to be that entertainment director, responsible for 50 nightclubs around the West Coast and moving into the United States. I went to Stuart and asked if I could apply for the position of entertainment director, and he said, no, I just don't feel comfortable for a woman being out late at night in the nightclubs. Now, I had already been out there and assigned to various nightclubs. I'd been traveling and doing what I would do for my boss, for Bob, but Stuart was just so hesitant. However, he said, Roberta, I know you want to apply, so let's have you come in front of the board of directors and you pitch yourself as the next entertainment director. I'll never forget that because I went to that board meeting, I made my pitch, and the senior vice president of operations said, I have an idea. Let's let Bob, her boss, go on holiday for a couple of months. Let's see if Roberta can do it. If she can, then Stuart, you are going to throw her a party in Denver, Colorado, 2 months from now and announce her appointment. Whew, I was so excited. 2 months later, in Denver, Stuart threw me a huge party in that restaurant and to announce my appointment as entertainment director. 4 years later, after I had been traveling all over the United States, and I was now responsible for 80 nightclubs and 300 people, I knew it was to take those words again that Stuart had given me at the beginning, to just say yes to a new challenge. I had been on the road for 4 years straight. Now, I loved visiting all 50 states. I loved meeting all these new people. I loved the adventure. I loved business. I loved the management. I loved working with an incredible team of people. I met with my second in command, and I told him he had 30 days to learn everything. Tom, you need to learn it all, and then you need to ask me every question you want, because in 30 days, I'm going to resign. 30 days later, I resigned. However, I immediately got a call from Brian in Los Angeles saying, hey, let's start a new company. Let's start a music video company. Well, back in that era, music videos were just coming out, and I had started introducing them into my nightclubs. And were they a success? But all the other restaurants and nightclubs wanted them. So Brian and I decided we'd start a company called ETI Music Video Network. And we would launch that into all the nightclubs around the United States. Now, it was a huge success for us until one day I happened to overhear another conversation in a lobby at one of the music studios. And they were talking about MTV. I went, uh-oh, if MTV comes out and I'm an operator in the nightclubs, why don't I just plug and play? I'll put in the displays, plug in MTV. I don't need to then lease the music videos from Roberta or from another couple of the companies. So it became very evident to both Brian and I that we needed to say yes and sell that company. And then he said, well, if we're going to sell that company, why don't you come inside of ETI and become the vice president of business development? Well, over my career, voices had always been there saying, are you kidding me? You can't do that. What are you thinking? But then I went, wow, I've done all this. I've worked in the nightclub industry. I've done what I've done. Let me try something new. So off I went on a new adventure with ETI as the vice president of business development. What was fun about that adventure is it gave me so many opportunities to continue networking and being a mentor and mentoring other people. While at ETI, I said yes to a lot of different adventures. First, as mentioned in my introduction, I co-founded and then chaired the Nightclub and Bar Advisory Board, and we launched our first trade show. And at that time, our first trade show was approximately 600 people. We invited all of our friends. Now I know they get over 20,000 a year to the trade show for the Nightclub Bar Association in Las Vegas. I served as the president of the advisory board in year 2. I went on also then to, and our company became an active participant with the National Restaurant Association Marketing Executives Group. Now my team, which I had, it's a long story there, but my team and I went on for 7 years within that organization, producing and participating in the nightclub tour from hell. And if any of those people who were on Facebook at the time were part of that organization, you might remember being on one of those tours. In fact, next week, I'm going to go back to Chicago and be part of the National Restaurant Association Marketing Executives Group to celebrate all the people who have done so much for the hospitality industry. At ETI, we in 1990 decided to take on another challenge and become charter members of the Themed Entertainment Association. We served that organization and continue to serve that organization. I was so fortunate to be elected as the advisory board chair for the third international president. Now, since 1990, there's only been 2 ladies elected to that chairmanship. I'm hoping this next year, we're gonna get our 3rd lady, but that's a long time. And we want my women, and we continue to mentor these women, our women in themed entertainment, to step up, just say yes, be active, and chair a global organization. In 1997, I said yes to even a new adventure. And again, I swatted away all those, are you kidding me? You can't do that. I swatted those negative naysayers, voices in my head away, and I went, okay, this next opportunity is to be the vice president of themed entertainment for 20th Century Fox. We were opening a theme park in Australia. We went on to open a small theme park in Baja, California. And I went on to do an incredible tour with Jim Cameron's Titanic in Europe. Boy, what an incredible adventure, saying yes to being the vice president in themed entertainment. So many of the people I worked with, I continue to work with them in other aspects. As they move on to new opportunities, I then can work with them as a business development professional. In 2011, boy, that brought on new challenges. As I left Fox, I just said yes to starting my own company, Roberta Perry and Associates. Wow. I became a business development catalyst for the global entertainment marketplace. I have to say that at that moment in life, after I've listened to so many people today talk about it, when those voices started and I said, "Are you kidding me? You can't do that." I said, "Yes, I can." And I knew why. I could because I had so many mentors who had started their own companies, who had become successful as consultants. So I immediately picked up the phone, called them and said, "How did you do it? Teach me what I need to know about starting a new business, especially starting my own business." It has been an adventure for 19 plus years, having my own company and working with amazing clients all over the globe, including the wow factor out of Los Angeles, New York. I got to work in Times Square on New Year's Eve for 3 or 4 years running, an adventure I will never, ever forget. Now, we all know the challenges we have faced in 2020 and 2021. I hope you are finding 2022 looking up, being a more favorable environment. I know I am. Wow, I get to go back to Taiwan to consult on a project they're doing and to consult on their design conference. During this time over the last few years, and I wanted a new experience, I joined the Space Tourism Society. And now we're back meeting in person. And we just held our first Space Tourism Conference since 2019. I moderate a panel for them, and I found new opportunities in an industry that's just being birthed. If any of you are fascinated with space, I highly recommend Google, again, after the speakers and the breakout sessions today, Google Space Tourism Conference, Space Tourism Society. A whole new world will open up for you. Plus, I am finding new opportunities back in the hospitality industry. Now, as I look back over my career, and as I look forward to continuing my career, I am thankful for Stuart's recommendation to just say yes, to ignore the voices, to ignore the naysayers. Cass Warner said it best, to believe in yourself. At the end of today, we're going to have breakout sessions. And of course, I'll be there if any of you have any questions that I can answer or be a mentor for you. I thought I would also present some tips that I've learned over the years in business development, plus the effective networking tips that I have learned over the years for growing my business, not only my business, for other people's business. Now, just think, your next adventure may be right around the corner. All you have to do is just say yes. Back to you, AG.
Thank you, Roberta, for your presentation. I really loved hearing about, just saying yes and your experiences in pursuing new adventures by pushing away all of the negative thoughts and just saying yes.